In this video, we are going to continue with our assignment of Aged Debtor Analysis, and by the time you have already extracted the days past, because it's a very simple logic and formula. We just have to compare the sales invoice due date with today's date. So hopefully you have done that, but if not, let me just explain you how you might have done that. So first of all, we will extract days past. From the invoice due date, we want to compare it with today's system date, and that will tell us how many days has passed after the due date. Let me just increase the size so that we can see the formula clearly. And let's bring it back. Okay. Or in fact, what we can do is just remove the column from here and let's add a new column right in front of the date. Right click, insert, and let's mention here days past. Now we just have to compare the today's date. We have already learned the formula of today. It brings the today's date directly from the system date. So let me just reopen it and we will minus the today's date with the due date. Just select this cell, today minus this cell, hit enter, and you will see some kind of a date because the format of this whole column is set to date. We'll just go to the home tab and make it journal. And now it says 201 days have passed since this due date. So that's perfect. Let's double click to send it down. And here we can see that some of the days are showing in -117. Why is that? Because we are not yet in December 2025. So what we can do in that kind of scenarios, we will take an example like we are in 31st December 2025. So if we want to compare it with a specific date instead of today's date, we can do that as well, because I have adjusted this project way ahead of its time. So let me just compare this as a today's date, but you will consider the same scenario. By the time you're watching this video, the 31st December might already have passed. So days past formula will remain the same, today minus this date. But if it is not passed, you can consider this as a starting point. Let's fix this so that it won't move. Double click to send it down. And let's continue by dragging it further down. But as we can see that we have some extra spaces. So that's why it won't be able to drag down manually. What we have to do is we will continue by holding this fill handle and manually dragging it until the bottom. And once we reach at the bottom, we will release this key. But if we scroll up, we will notice some problems. One is it will extract some numbers even the date is not there. So for blank cells, it's still gonna give some numbers. And we might also see this value formula. So these are the problems that we need to resolve. So what we can do is we can add the condition that if this cell has no date, then it should show nothing. Let's double click to open it. Let's add this formula. If this cell is equal to blank, that means inverted commas open and inverted commas close, then show blank. Otherwise, make this calculation. Hit enter and it will easily resolve the problem. Just double click to send it down again. And we can notice that the extra numbers are gone from the blank spaces. Now, if we scroll down further, we can still see that there are some errors, especially where are some date problems. So we can manually adjust this as well. Maybe it's not recognized as a proper date. So in that case, what we can do is just paste the other cell right here. Notice the date, it's 29th of February. Just copy and paste the other cell date and just manually adjust that. So let's try changing the date to something else. Let's make it 28th February. Doesn't matter for now. So all are okay, but let's say that we still get some value errors. Even if we don't, we must know how to resolve that. If condition is already applied, but if we go back right at the starting just after equals to, and we will say that if the error occurs, if the error still occurs, whether it's not available error, value error, whatever. If error comes on what value? On whatever is the calculation here. If the error comes on that, what is the value if error? We want to show nil. That means if the error comes on this particular calculation, whatever it is, instead of error, show blank, inverted commas open and inverted commas close. The method of applying this is whatever formula you have inserted, just go at the starting point, just after the equals to, and just add if error. Value will be considered whatever is written here. Just go right at the end and inverted commas open and inverted commas close. That means if the error comes, show blank. Accept the changes at the end, brackets should be closed, done. Double click to send it down and we have this formula reapplied. So we have applied the days past formula. Let's scroll towards right to apply an if then conditions so that we can automatically extract what falls under 0 to 30, 31 to 60, 61 to 90 and so on and so forth. It will divide all the invoices in between these columns. But for that, we need to see the days past. When we scroll towards right, the days past disappears. So what we want to do here is we want to fix these 3 columns or 4 columns when we scroll towards right. And the headings also shouldn't disappear. So I'll put the cursor here, go to the view, freeze panes and freeze panes. You will notice that all of these 3 columns are fixed when we scroll towards right or left. And when we scroll down, the headings are fixed. So that's perfect. Let's apply the formula now. We must see days past, amount paid and outstanding. So this way it's much more convenient for us to see all of the data in one place and we can easily apply the formula as well. Let's define the formula now. What we want is if the days past is within 0 to 30 days, then the outstanding amount should be categorized here. If it falls between 31 to 60 days, it should automatically categorize here and the list goes on up till the end. So it should automatically put it in the right category. Like here, the days past is 350. So this should fall under this category, 31 to 360. But we have to define a single formula that should work for all. Condition is very simple. We will use an if condition that if the days past is greater than or equals to 0 and is less than or equals to 30 at the same time. That means it should fall between this range. Then take the value of the cell and put it here. Otherwise, show nothing. That's it. This is the formula that will work for all. Equals to if. Logical test is very simple. The days past, if the days past is greater than, but the problem is that here we have 2 conditions. So let's apply again. Equals to if. Is there one logic or 2 logic? There are 2 logics because it should be greater than or equals to 0 and it should be less than or equals to 30 at the same time. So if and logical 1 says the days past should be greater than or equals to 0, comma, logical 2 says the days past should be less than and equals to 30. If both of the conditions meet, then don't worry about this. If it brings it to this corner, we can still easily see the formula right at the top and we can see it here as well. Then what happens is we can show the outstanding amount. Now, if you're unable to select the outstanding amount, no problem. Just select the above or below cell and then press down arrow key to slide through it. Then show this cell result. Otherwise, show nothing or dash. Hit enter. It will automatically recommend to close the bracket at the end. Click yes. And right now it's showing nothing. But let's just test the formula. Let's say the days past is 25. It will automatically show this outstanding balance figure within this range. And that's the power of the formula. Let me just press Ctrl Z for undo because we don't want to disturb the formula here. Now what happens is we only have to decide what needs to be fixed, what needs to be movable. That means we have to define the absolute and relative references. Obviously, we know that whenever we apply a single formula, we will drag it towards right and drag it to the bottom as well. Let's notice and see individual details. Logical one is D13. D13 is this cell. When I drag this formula towards right, it should not leave the days past column. That means the column shouldn't change. So we will fix the column by putting a $sign. And when we drag this formula towards down, it should automatically move the rows to check the remaining days past and where it falls under the category. So row should move and the columns shouldn't move. We have fixed the column and not the rows. Then is again D13. We will do the same thing here, no matter how many times it comes. And let's do it all for rows based. Then outstanding formula, again for outstanding, same rule applies. When I drag it towards right, it shouldn't change its column, but it should change its row when we drag it downwards. So that means the column should be fixed and row should be free. For 0 to 30 days, the different logic applies because when we drag it towards right, it should automatically pick 31 to 60 days category in the next cell. So that means the column should change because in the next column we have 31 to 60 days. So the column should change. We will not fix it right here. But when we drag it towards down, it shouldn't slip down from its headings or positions. It shouldn't do that. So this means the row should be fixed. Same goes for 0, same goes for 30. So J11 is 30. We can also reference it by colors. Let's fix this one and hit enter. You might need to practice it many times before getting a grip on it, but getting a solid grip on it is very, very helpful because you're just about to experience the magic of this fixing and the formula itself. Once we define a complete formula for a single cell, we drag it towards right, no matter how much data we have, and we double click to send it down. And we see the magic of auto categorization for every single cell. So if we check this one, this is 37 days. It automatically falls between 31 to 60 days. If it is 66 days, it automatically falls here. But we notice something, that some of the cells are blank. That means if we want to resolve this issue, we can go to the home, sort and filter. We can apply a filter to blank ones just to see what is the issue. Let's apply a filter on 0 and blanks. Click OK. And for this, we can see an issue. Let's make it 28 because 29 is not readable by Excel. So that is basically causing the problem. All the dates that is 29th and 31st might not be readable, but 31st is fine. 29th is not readable. Let's make it 28. Or what we can do is let's replace it. We will replace all the 29th February with 28th February. Replace all, and that solves our problem for most of the cells. Let's apply the filter again just by clicking OK. And we can see that 0 days is fine because we are considering we are at 31st of December. So 0 days have passed. That's fine. But we have resolved it for all the rest of details. Let's clear the filter, or we can clear it from here if we have applied many filters. Just go to the home tab and go to sort and filter and clear it from here. We have already done that and we can see the magic of it. Let's check some more. 116 days. It falls between this category automatically and the list goes on. But for these kind of conditions where it is older than 360 days, we might need to adjust some formula. that let's replace the formula altogether. But just make sure that we are in the first cell where we applied the formula. Equals to if the days past is greater than 360, or we can simply write 360 here. Let's apply the formula now. Equals to if the days past is greater than this cell, and this cell should be fixed totally because we don't have to further drag it right or drag it down. Then show what? Show the outstanding value from here. We don't need to fix this, but if we want, we can fix it column wise and row wise. Otherwise, show dash or blank, hit enter, double click to send it down, and there we have it. So if any of them is 360 plus days, we can easily see it right here. But what we notice is it's also showing some outstanding figures. So in that case, if we are unable to figure out why it's showing an outstanding balance, we can apply a simple condition here as well. That says that if, just go to the starting, if the result of all of this calculation is equal to outstanding, then instead of outstanding, show blank. Otherwise what? Otherwise just continue making this calculation. So just copy and paste it again here. Click yes, double click to send it down, and we can see that now outstanding is removed. We simply define a condition that if the result of all of this is equal to outstanding, then instead of outstanding show nil. Otherwise just continue the calculation, and in the calculation we just copy the data from here and paste it right at the end. But even after applying a detailed formula, we still see some problems, like here on row number 80, 70,377. If we scroll it towards left, it's the total that is categorized there. So that should not be categorized. The individual invoices should only categorize. So this means we need to change the formula. Let's remove it altogether. We will define a simple version of it. And it's nice that you are seeing all of these problems as well in real time, so that you can accurately resolve these problems and see different solution of it. But even after applying multiple formulas, we are not getting the results. So let's try again. This time we will apply a condition of if days past cell is equal to blank, then show blank, otherwise make the calculation. So first of all, we will apply the formula in the same way. Equals to if the days past is greater than or equal to, not equal to, only greater than, because if it is equal to 360, it will lie in the earlier column. So if it is greater than this, let's fix this. Then show the outstanding amount, show this, otherwise show blank. Hit enter, and this formula is done. But we only want to make the calculations if the days past cell is filled with any number. If not, don't make any calculation. So let's open this formula again, and we will go right at the starting, and we will add if the days past cell is equals to blank, then show blank, otherwise make this calculation. We can also write dash because that continues with our formatting style. Hit enter, click yes, and double click to send it down. Now we confirm the row number 80 if the problem is resolved. In row number 80, we had some totals. So the total should not appear at the end. So now the problem is fully resolved. We don't see any outstanding text shown here, and we don't see any kind of totals or zeros. It's all clean. Now what to do if we want to reconcile it to make sure that all of these transactions are categorized in any of the column? So what we can do at the end is just make two columns, categorize total and actual total. So let's press Alt equal, and let's continue till the starting point from 0 to 30 days up till all of these categories. We want to sum this into a single total, and let's match it with the actual total, which is equals to whatever is in the outstanding field. Let's pick it here. Just double click to send it down, and double click to send it down from here as well. And let's write here difference. In the difference field, just categorized total minus actual total is the formula. Double click to send it down, and we can easily manage it by formatting this whole column as the comma style. So in that case, it will show dashes, and wherever there's any kind of discrepancy, we can locate that balance. So in the actual total, we need to adjust this formula because 21,404 is picked up from this cell, and that's the outstanding cell reference. So we will say that if the days past is equal to blank, then show blank, otherwise show cell number, cell results of outstanding balance. Just double click to send it down, and we can make all of this as dashes as well. The difference can now simply be calculated. Double click to send down. And if there are errors still because of whatever reason, let's apply if error, then show blank. And simply after resolving a couple of issues, we can see the difference easily. Even if we have hundreds and thousands of invoices, we can still see that whether it is categorized in any of the area or not, and match it against the actual totals to make sure all of them are categorized properly. So difference is not shown anywhere. That means our formula is properly applied. We can just randomly check some of the invoices to make sure that they're shown up in the right area, but we can see that the difference is nil. Let's check it for one category, 258. Sales invoice number, the days past is 258, so it must be categorized between 241 to 270 days. And that's perfectly shown here. So this is how you can make the aged debtor analysis in Excel. Just try this by yourself, and I will see you in the next one.